There will be no drum roll for this edition of Mazda News Update, as the Mazda News Update is traditionally exciting and filled with new information of upcoming products, technology, colors, and overall great Mazda news. However, this edition is a little more somber, and I'm sure that you've heard over the last 48 to 72 hours from various news sources that the fourth generation upcoming Mazda6 or Mazda60 will not reach production. So in this edition of Mazda News Update, we will talk about those recent news releases as well as a look back at the 626 all the way to today's Mazda 6. This story has been very newsworthy, and although for the last several years, I guess it began with the RX Vision and the Vision Coupe, we have really expected some new sedans and coupes from Mazda, whether or not they would include another rotary engine. However, all those hopes and dreams on this new rear-wheel drive platform, new inline 6 premium sedan have now been squashed. And the news broke after an interview with Joachim Kuntz with Autocar, the British magazine. And of course, Mr. Kuntz is an engineer from Mazda UK. And to quote him, he said, "It would be very nice to have the FR front engine, rear driven concept and 6-cylinder engine for a Mazda 6 successor or a large sports coupe. We would like to have it, but at this point in time, it's most important to sell SUVs. This SUV trend is continuing, and even more for Mazda. It's what's selling best." And of course, he's referring to the 5 new crossovers coming with the CX-50 being first in just a few weeks, and then CX-60 overseas, CX-90 in America, CX-70 and 80 coming next year. So all as 2023 models. Of course, the Mazda 6 sedan was discontinued in 2021, or the 2021 was the last year of production, and we are not receiving any more of those sedans as of now in America. However, that current generation may be continued for a few years under this same design, same engines, and same platform. So it really just depends on, part exhaustion and chassis exhaustion is really what this availability will depend on. This is really sad for Mazda enthusiasts such as you and such as myself, as we expected just to roll right along to more great sedans, as the sedans were alive with Mazda. However, now we know that it was a short timetable for them to make a decision to continue with this midsize sedan at least, and hopefully not a later discontinuation of the Mazda 3 sedan and hatchback. Mazda Australia's marketing director, Alistair Doak, who has also been quoted to in recent months of releasing new information of Mazda, also said confirmed to Drive that there's some updates in the pipeline for it down the track, and that it would continue for the next couple of years. So Mazda Australia and some other markets would continue with the existing Mazda 6, and they may see some updates in the future based on just finishing some parts but adding parts from new vehicles, is what I'm interpreting his statement there. So they might see the 7th generation infotainment system just because of parts availability. This current 3rd generation of the Mazda 6 last saw a facelift or update in 2018, and we were so excited by some of those changes especially in the first appearance or introduction up front with the grille, that we just knew that there would be more coming in the immediate future. But now running 3 model years or 4 years of production longer, we know that this is not to be the case. And we can look at the sales results of the Mazda 6 and see specifically in the United States, back in the introduction of 2003 and 2004, 2005, there was some growth there from 66,000 units to 72 and 71 in the following years. Then in 2006 was really the last highest number, as we see a steady decline with exception of 2014 and 2015. But since 2016, it's been all downhill, with 2021's last reported sales total here on Wikipedia of a mere 16,000 units in America. However, surprisingly, you see those numbers turning around with the release of this vehicle in 2014 in China, as it went from 27,000 all the way up to 53,017 as a high, and then still numbers that were doubling those numbers here in the U.S. So unfortunately, the overwhelming support in China and even the strong sales in Europe were not enough to continue with the production of the Mazda 6, much to our dismay. Now, in recent years, we've seen new engine availability with the turbo, but also with the Skyactiv D, which never made it to America, but was seen in other markets. But again, these new engines and new availability and new zoom excitement were not enough to continue with future production or to bolster a fourth generation or new platform with an inline 6 and longitudinal design for rear-wheel drive. However, I'm still very confident that we may see a return of some type of sedan, whether it be in this midsize capacity or new sedan or coupe vehicle availability, as we are getting more and more involved on the Mazda, specifically getting more and more involved with electrification. What gets better fuel economy than a sedan? Nothing really. So we'll have to see some of the new availability in these sedans, coupes, Mazda 3 size in a compact or maybe a subcompact offering. And recently, Toyota revealed quite a lot of new EVs coming in the next decade. And you can see that there was, although some crossovers, SUVs, and trucks were represented as well, we know that there's also, for all types of markets, size restrictions and the necessity for subcompact and compact and mid-sized availability or premium availability in that luxury, premium luxury sedan style. So who knows what Mazda may have in store in the next few years as well, as we push more in 2025, but even more new products and more electrification in 2030. Now, maybe you remember how this came to be with the Mazda Capella, which was the Mazda 626 in North America beginning in 1970, and at that point was a front-engine, rear-driven model up until 1982. So for 12 years, we had exactly what we were hoping for again. However, this Mazda 626 ran all the way through 6 generations and up until 2002, when we transitioned to the Mazda 6, and we've been happy or thankful now for those 3 generations of 626, or the Atenza as it was known in other markets. And so for the last time, we'll say farewell to the Mazda 6 and the Mazda 626. And here we will close today's Mazda News Update with a few showings of those many generations from 1970 all the way until 2021. So again, I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales from Mitchell Mazda, signing off for the Mazda 6 and current future plans of a front engine, rear driven, new platform, inline 6, Mazda 6 or Mazda 60. So until we meet again, Mazda premium luxury midsize sedan, we'll keep hoping and praying for you or a subsequent RX sports coupe in our future.